So I'm Emily Sappingfield, and I am here on the Beal cast at Fountain Mortgage, and I am with the Robert Beal and his beautiful wife, Jessica Beal. And, I really am not exactly sure what Jessica does all day other than making wonderful lunches for Robert and just making everybody jealous when he walks in with all his
I just want
food.
to interrupt here real quick, and nobody's ever like, this is Jessica Biel and her handsome husband Robert, but there's a lot of like, it's his lovely wife Jessica, which is fine though because it's true. So
It is true.
yeah.
So,
Thank you.
Okay, you gonna answer your question?
Sure, yeah. Okay, so I'm Jessica Beal, and I am a chef, a holistic chef, a functional nutrition counselor, and a postpartum doula.
Oh, that's awesome. I think I have heard Robert talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which of all of those things are your favorite?
Probably being the chef.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoy
Well,
that.
I know for Robert's birthday, you did quite the spread for his birthday brunch. We won't mention his age.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Yeah,
my
I really
age too.
like.
So, but
I like cooking for events. So
yeah,
Of
that's
her
probably
jobs,
the most fun thing that I do.
her jobs, her being a chef is absolutely my favorite part of that. My favorite part of that as well.
it should be
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it was all
Yeah.
delicious.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I'm always pleased when I just have a theme, right, for the whatever lunch or whatever
Yeah.
thing I'm doing. But Jessica's was not just one, but there were amazing drinks. You had the buffet of all of the choices. You had the champagne drinks and the what are the Bloody Mary drinks. I mean, you had everything, and a homemade quiche and a fantastic the marinade that you did for the shrimp.
Yeah, the shrimp marinade.
Oh man,
Yeah.
it was just terrific, and fruit and shape and a 50. I mean, it just was. It was exceptional. So
Thank you.
well done on that.
I was. There were multiple times in the days leading up to it that I'm like, babe, like I am not worth all of this. like sort of like seriously, I got sort of like teary eyed and overwhelmed.
Yeah.
But then I realized like she was also she wasn't just doing it altruistically. Like she was setting herself up to create content for her business as well.
I really wasn't
And
thinking
so-
about that. I mean, it's fine if that happens, but
It's an unintended consequence of doing something that you love, right?
Yeah.
Just being able to support
Yeah.
him and doing the stuff that you're really great at.
Yeah. Well, until recently, I really had not decided to go into the catering more. I'm in school for the functional nutrition counseling, and I'm just head down,
You're busy.
do my doula thing at night, and like do this and get it done, and after that I was just like, I love this. Like, why would I cut this out? And
Right.
so I don't make as much money as the functional nutrition counseling, but I like it so much. So.
Yeah, and so, I'm in a commission business, right? And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but I'm sort of like, people would pay for this. And, and it turns out people will pay for it.
It is.
Yeah.
That's a great thing. So, all right. So we know what Jessica does. How about you? Robert?
Yeah, I'm a mortgage loan originator. And really what I do is I go around Kansas City, I drink coffee, I hang out, and I just post absurd stuff on social media. And somehow loans come to me. So
That's funny. You mentioned social media. So I wanted to check with Jessica on the whole. Do you see his Facebook posts very often?
I see them a couple times a week.
Yeah. So let's say he posts more than a couple times a week.
Yeah.
So I think he does hit my feed a few times a day. But I've always been interested to ask you about his Facebook posts that say, so like you've just done something amazing. Like you have reorganized the garage, color-coded, alphabetical, everything's labeled, like all these amazing things.
built a retaining
Yeah. Oh,
wall.
if you can see my garage now.
And the wonderful meal, and he goes through, and I'm probably not phrasing it just like he says it, but it's something along the lines of all the things that you've done, and hey guys, if your girl's not doing this, is she really your girl? Question mark. So how do you feel about that? Like, do you think that's good? Are you flattered? Does it irritate you? Like, what's your take?
No, I'm definitely flattered. you know,
She
She
does
blushes.
70% of the time she doesn't even see him though. Like, because I mean,
no, I see most of them, or you know, I don't know.
Catches up.
Yeah,
You know, maybe,
it catches
you know,
up at some point. I see it.
Yeah.
You know.
Maybe not real time.
Yeah, maybe not real.
So we'll
But
go
At some
flattery.
point, I see it. Yeah, I'm flattered.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So, and this when Robert asked me to do this was absolutely the very first thing that popped into my mind
Yeah.
was the story of him going on a trek across the Midwest, essentially
South Dakota.
South Dakota. So
Yeah.
going north, and how you guys met. So I've heard his version, but honestly, I really would like for him to tell everybody his version, but you to interject when he's embellishing a bit.
Okay.
Okay. So first, the first thing I want to like just make clear is the reason my wife is on this episode tonight is because there are plenty of people out there that like don't like, you know, there's reason to kind of be annoyed by me, right? And I can be sort of a turnoff to them. But what I've learned is everybody loves Jessica. So I'm sort of insidiously here trying to do some marketing to kind of grow my business and give people reason to do business with me. But yeah, so it was, what was it, 2020? So COVID, right? 2020,
Yeah.
I was getting ready to start like the second of my divorces. And, you know, I was like, I'm going to go out to the South Dakota. I'm going to do this Vision Quest. I had like 30 miles of hiking.
Did you call it Vision Quest the whole time, or was that just like, was it on a vision board? No. And then
No. Yeah, no. I mean, I didn't come back with a dumb tattoo. And no, and so yeah, I mean, I had that summer I'd spent a ton of time like reading about like the Sioux.
You did get a tattoo though.
Yeah, that's true. I did. I read about like the
See?
Sioux Indians.
See, I knew there were little pieces in here that
Yeah. Yeah,
he left out.
So bison, coyotes, like I was just really into this thing about like nature and animals and like the prairie. I was obsessed with the prairie. I'd read this book about basically how, you know, the prairie has changed, and it was this beautiful resource that we had that like doesn't exist because we started putting up like fences and stuff. And so South Dakota. So I was going to spend a couple days in the Badlands, and then I was going to do a couple
More than
days.
fences.
Yeah, a couple days in the Badlands and a couple days in the Black Hills hiking.
Okay.
And so I had been there. It was the second to last night, and I had the only people I'd talked to had been like wait people and like somebody in like in a convenience store when I was like going in to get gas. Otherwise, I was just like on my own in my head. Just
Didn't
like,
have a dog
trying-
or anything with you.
Didn't have a
Just-
dog.
just
Didn't have
you.
a person. Anything. And so, but I was really like, if I was going to have dinner, I was going to have dinner at some place that served game, like bison, you know, elk, that type of stuff. And so I was coming back to I can't even remember where I was coming from, but I'm getting gas, and I was going to go to this restaurant that I'd been at a couple days before. I was like, well, surely there's going to be another restaurant. So I do this Google search. I find this restaurant in what city was it? Was it
Keystone, South Dakota.
Keystone, South Dakota.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, they got like a game plate with like pheasant and all the stuff. And so I show up, I sit down, and you know, I'm just kind of hanging out. I'm messing around on my phone. You know, I had a waitress, and then she wasn't my waitress, and she just kept walking past. She's wearing a mask, can't see anything. But I'm a big believer that if you're out someplace and you know you're standing in line at the grocery store and the person behind you looks nice, you say, "Hey, listen, you look really nice." I think that there's like a karma thing to that. And so she kept walking by. She was super tall, and I just thought her curls.
I wasn't just like, I was just working.
Yeah,
I
she was.
He
Yeah,
was,
no, she
you
was.
know, on one
You weren't
side of him was
dancing
the
or doing
bar,
something.
the other side was the kitchen, and you know, on the other side was my station.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so she kept walking by, and finally I was just like, I'm going to just tell this girl that I think her curls are cute. And so I was like, hey, and I'm pretty sure I said it just like this. Hey, I don't mean to be a weirdo, but I just want you to know I think your curls are cute. Which now that I think about it, like that is.
It is. He
Okay.
said the weird thing, you know, and I had felt like we had a little eye contact.
I was going to say, did
When
you guys
I walked out of the kitchen and first saw him, I thought we had a little eye contact.
had a moment?
No, I don't think we did.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe she did. but you
Yeah, I mean,
hadn't
I
yet.
definitely saw your eyes.
Listen, I
He has-
had my second divorce. Like
he
chicks
has
were like
blue
the last
eyes.
thing.
I definitely saw, like, I looked in his eyes. Whether
Yeah.
he looked back, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I missed that moment. And so anyway, so I make the comment to her.
Did you
Thanks.
see the comedy
Great.
behind it?
Yeah, I make that moment. We have that moment, and her eyes kind of light up, but she's behind the mask, and I don't think anything of it. I go back to like messing around on my phone, eating my pheasant and whatever. And
So all those choices, and you got pheasant.
Was it pheasant? It was not pheasant.
It was a plate that had pheasant, bison, elk, and then
I know
some
that's
like
just
vegetables.
tertiary
Yeah.
type of
Yeah,
situation
no.
here, but
No,
still.
but what's crazy about it is I've got what has turned out to be probably the single most important meal of my life.
That's
I've got
true.
a photo of it because I
That's true.
posted it like on Facebook, like, oh, check out this dinner or whatever. And so like 10 minutes pass, and she comes back to me, and the way I was positioned in the restaurant, there was like a walkway into another like dining area, and so she was kind of leaned up against this, and she's like, "Hey," and she's looking down. I'm not expecting this at all. I'm sort of freaked out, and she pulls.
I felt like we had eye contact, and then he told me my curls were cute, and so I was.
So you're feeling
I
the
was-
connection.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was not aware. Now
See,
it
aren't you
does
glad
sound
we
a
brought
little
this up?
suspicious now that we're talking about it. And so so she comes back over and she starts talking to me, and she pulls her mask down, and she's like beautiful, and now I'm like freaked out. I'm like, I'm like, hey, what's going on? And so she introduces herself. I tell her, yeah, I'm visiting, I'm hiking or whatever, and it was just this thing where I'm like, do I ask her for a drink? Like now that we're engaged, like in a conversation, like what do I do? I've never done anything like that, and so I was like, hey, you want to like meet up for when do you get off? Like it's the most cliche thing possible, but it was like purely like I have no idea, and so I asked her for her phone number, and I remember. Like she's like, I get off, and I was like, "What's your number?" And I'll call you, I'll text you, or whatever. So I pull up my phone, and like I pull up the calculator. And so she gives me her number, and I'm like in the calculator. I'm like, why am I in the calculator? I hope.
You put her number in the
And I
calculator.
screenshot my calculator.
Oh, there you go. Look at you, so
Yeah, I
smooth.
screenshot my calculator. Finish up our dinner or whatever. She tells me what time. So I immediately, I've been hiking all day. I immediately drive back to whatever this other place, my cabin, and take a shower, and come back, and we meet at this bar there, and it was only open for like another
Barley's.
Barley's, yeah. It was only open for like another 30 minutes or something. And but she comes in, she sits down, she doesn't have her mask on. I mean, she's like beautiful, and like I'm about to have my second divorce, like just like right out of the gate. That's like the first thing I say. Like I am in town. Like this is like nothing's gonna happen. And she's like, me too. And I'm like, wow, okay. And so then it sort of became this like conversation about me just like saying just like I don't know ridiculous stuff, and she just had like nothing seemed to be.
I just didn't see it ridiculous. Like we were just having a conversation,
Yeah.
and he's
Well, and it
just
sounds like you had
being
connecting.
open and honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that for most conversations that I have with people, well, I mean, especially in a situation like this, like it's very difficult for me to just be like present in the moment. I'm thinking like, what's going to happen here? Like, I don't need a girlfriend. Like just these absurd
You're
stuff.
6
It's
steps
not-
forward
Yeah,
when-
for unnecessarily. But we just, and once we kind of got back past the nerves, or I got past the nerves, she was just really cool to talk to. And then the bar started to close up, and I'm like, do you want to come back to my place? My cabin. It's like midnight in South
You didn't
Dakota.
say-
Like I'm like,
Oh, okay.
You
It's
know,
that
way.
and it's like
Okay.
because if we're gonna have the conversation, I
And
think
it's
I've got
chilly outside.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
you
So
can't
just
be
walking, yeah.
outside, and like everything's closed because the season's about to end.
Yeah.
So it was
Yeah, if there was a way for us to like sit outside someplace or
right.
whatever, that's
it
that's
would have
park or
been
something.
what we did.
So
but
then I'm like, yeah. She's like, okay, and then I'm like, well, that's weird, But then I'm like, but obviously
he
she was
seemed
comfortable.
really
with
genuine, like
Absolutely.
really honest.
Yeah.
And,
So we get out to the parking lot, and I'm
I
driving.
mean, he already told me about the divorce, and
He opened with all
Right.
the baggage,
Right,
right?
right.
Just
all the stuff. And so I get out to the parking lot. I'm like, hey, I'm driving that Kia, that Red Soul, and all of a sudden
Yeah.
I'm self-conscious
Then
about
there's
that
that.
car. Like I
see.
wasn't.
I love that car.
Yeah,
I love the Kia Soul.
yeah. It was a great car, but like
it didn't look like a serial killer car.
well, and so while she's following me back to my cabin, I'm like, does my place look like a serial killer lair? Like, does this cabin, like, are there any knives out or anything? But then the other thing that I
Are
sort
there
of...
any knives out? That wouldn't be something that would come across my mind.
Right.
Well, then I went 180 degrees
I
the
got
other way.
a brand new knife today. I'm
Did
so
you?
excited about it.
Ooh,
Okay.
like culinary, like
Yeah. Just put that in there.
Let's talk about this knife for a little bit. What type of knife
So
is
it is Global. You know the brand Global.
it? Oh, no.
And my friend had one. I went to her house, and she said she had not sharpened it since they got it. Like,
oh well.
and
Nice.
in
Yeah.
the pandemic. So that's 4 years of not sharpening. I have to sharpen mine like every time I cut a tomato.
Yeah,
So,
I sharpen mine quite a bit too.
Yeah. So
Product of
we'll
being
see.
a butcher's daughter,
We
get
shall
the little
see.
shape.
A butcher's daughter, really? Okay,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Got the honing
I do. I have the little
thing out. Yeah.
whatever and sharpen it, and have to
Well-
be careful though.
Yeah.
If 9 times out of 10, when I walk into the house, she's chopping something. So I
Yeah.
can see how it's important to
Yeah.
have a sharp
Well,
knife.
and I bought one of the ceramic knives.
Ooh,
But-
did you like it?
I loved it. It was great until it chipped.
Then
And
you're
then, yeah.
kind of like good old Teflon of the
I'm telling
years
you.
past.
Yeah.
They all
so-
chip. Like, I don't get it. Like,
Yeah.
they're supposed
I've
to be
only
nice,
had
but they
one,
all
and
chip.
I've been so very gentle with it.
Yeah.
But I've chipped too. So I'm like,
All right.
yeah,
All right.
okay, sorry to
So
interrupt your
Well,
story.
I mean-
we're back at the lodge. There's no knives out, nothing too crazy, no duct tape, rope, anything.
No, but as I was driving home to the cabin, I thought of another thing that was a concern. I was like, what kind of damage could this woman do to me? I was
what
thinking,
went
like,
through your mind? Like, what were the
I
possibilities?
don't know. I had,
Yeah,
Like she was
just-
going to tie you
Just
up.
two or
like,
three of them, right?
No, not necessarily tie me up. I'm just like, should I let her know my last name? Like all this, like I'm like, what are the potential consequences here? Like I was thinking, do my that bag has my last name on it? Maybe I can kind of wheel it into the bedroom while we sit on the couch. I have no idea. I have no idea. It was just
She's
such
gonna
a
steal
So
your
I was
identity.
gonna, yeah, all right.
yeah. I mean, I guess that was like I just had no idea. It was such a unique experience for me to have like picked up a waitress.
Took her back to your cabin.
Like I just wanted to eat bison, and now I've got like this chick coming back to my place. And so we sit down.
For the
and-
record, this is way more detail than I've ever gotten. This is fantastic.
Well, I mean, nobody's going to watch this, so I figure, this intimate thing, we can just have this conversation. And so we get back to my place, and I mean, I think one of the first things I said was, "I'm not going to try to have sex with you." Like once we get, I waited until you.
He said that multiple times.
Yeah.
He said it before we left, like in the parking lot. I remember him
I really
like
just wanna
looking
chat.
into my eyes. If we had not had eye contact until now, he told me, looking into my eyes, that statement.
that was
Yeah.
Yeah.
it.
So,
There you go.
So
He swore.
clearly I've got game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't realize it. It wasn't my intent. And so basically we basically just hung out that entire night and just talked. I mean, now when I think about it, when I say we talked all night, I probably talked all night.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
laughing and nodding, but yeah.
Yeah, no, but it was just this really, really nice like thing. And then it just got so late that she couldn't go home. Like what was she gonna do, And so
Yeah.
we just
I was really not wanting to traverse the
yeah.
streets of Keystone at 2:30 at night.
Yeah, and I had
It's so
established
cool.
Because
the
you
boundary.
lived there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's how we met. So the next night, so I went hiking the next night. I had one more night, and I'm like, what else am I going to do? So I messaged her. I'm like, is it going to be weird if I come have a dinner there again? And she's like, no. And I was like, okay, I'm going to sit in a restaurant, sit in your section of the restaurant. So I get to the restaurant, and I'm like, hey, I want to be in Jessica's section. They put me in Jessica's section. She was great. She was super sweet. Terrific service.
I really should have recommended the prime rib though instead of the buffalo,
Oh,
buffalo. Yeah. So Powder House, Keystone, prime rib, you
I
guys.
read.
Okay.
What's
shout out to them.
But
Yeah,
what's
shout
interesting
out to
about
them.
that is like, I mean, that night, like she's made that comment. Like, we specifically are going to have to go back to Keystone,
Yeah.
South Dakota.
I was going to say, you definitely need to.
So I can have that.
Like, do you guys remember what the
Right.
date was?
Yes, so
Like,
good.
you can go back and
Yeah, I
do
know.
this
It
as
was,
the...
what was it, October 7th?
We really need to go back during the motorcycle thing because they do buffalo prime rib.
Yeah,
Ooh,
Yeah, and you have to get there early because they sell out.
yeah.
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 So I have
I
dinner.
want to try that. I want to try both. I want to go there twice and try the buffalo and the regular.
Anything you want, baby. and so Robert Beal's wife, like anything on the menu at the Powder House. So I'll call ahead.
Just to make sure it's there.
Yeah.
Is it in season?
And so but the weird thing then was like, how do I tip this woman?
That is a
What's an
fantastic
appropriate
question.
tip here?
Yeah,
and I
it
think
is.
I probably tipped her a ridiculous
Yeah, I think you did
amount,
like 50%.
which, to be honest, is probably a pretty good value when you consider
Yeah.
like how the story ends. But we do the same thing. We end up going back to my place. Again, not going to try to have sex with you. And so we hang out, we talk, and
He did touch my curls, though.
I
He
did.
asked. He asked.
I did. I
first.
asked, hey, can I touch you? Yeah, so I do in fact have a lot of game, and so yes,
It totally sounds like it.
yeah, and so we had a great night, and then just hanging out, talking again. Got up the next morning. I drove back. She went about that.
On
so that's
the phone with me.
yeah,
the whole
and so we
time,
just
about.
ended up. It was great because we had nothing to do but to talk, and there was like both of us in our 40s, 4 failed marriages between the two of us. It's like there's no reason for any bullshit. You know what I mean? Just
Right.
like be like straightforward and talk with no expectation of honestly any type of thing happening. It was just this cool person that I met who seemed like she was like ahead of me on like a journey to like self-actualization, and there was no consequences. And it was great. And so that's my part of how I ended up there. I mean, so I think Jessica should tell her kind of what led to that.
Okay, yeah. So I had been leading up to 2020. I worked at Brennan's in New Orleans as a server, fine dining restaurant, to kind of get some experience so that I could travel as a server.
Oh, okay.
So I got hired on or got a contract with this place called Xanterra to go and work at their lake house hotel in Yellowstone.
Oh, wow.
And I was super excited about that. That was supposed to start in March of 2020.
Then the world shut down and you didn't
Yeah.
get to.
Yeah, so all the money that I was saving for traveling, now I'm just saving. I'm glad I had it for the pandemic, but I didn't end up. So within this company, you can very easily apply to their other concession spots. And there was only a few places that were actually like taking applications
At that time.
at the time. Yeah. And it was the Grand Canyon, but I had actually turned down that job to go to Yellowstone, and then I probably could have figured it out to go back there, but I
Something came up instead.
yeah, I applied to scoop ice cream at Mount Rushmore.
It's so interesting.
And for $10.40 an hour, I went to Mount Rushmore to scoop ice cream and hike.
And there you go.
And I had a place to stay.
Yeah, they had a dorm for you, right?
And I lived in a dorm, and thank goodness during the pandemic you were in the dorm and not sharing the dorm with anyone else. So it was excellent. It couldn't have
Right.
been any better. And and so then I got a job working in the evening at the Powder House.
Oh, okay.
So, and I fixed it to where I had like both days off at both places. So
Then you could go hike.
then I
and
can
do
go
that.
hike, and I can
That's
spend
cool.
all day in the
Yeah,
woods,
what a
and
great
then
idea.
come back and work doubles the rest of the week.
Being able
So,
to just
yeah.
go and do that. I mean, I
Yeah.
always used to joke with my kids that once they graduated high school, I was going to move to the beach. I would figure something out. I
Yeah.
would be a server. I would
Yeah, we
be
tie
a
ourselves
teacher.
down.
Yeah, be a teacher at some school there on an island or do something like
Yes.
that. And
You should.
I still might. You never know. But I didn't realize how much even young adult kids, I guess they're not really saying
they
kind of.
still need.
They still
Yes.
still need you. They still
Yes,
want to chat
they
and they
do.
still want to, almost talk with my kids more now than I did
Yeah.
when they were in high school.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
Yeah, so you're scooping ice
Scooping
cream.
So I'm
ice cream.
scooping ice cream, lactose intolerant. I don't think I ever
say,
tasted any.
didn't you? Weren't you vegan also?
No, I wasn't vegan at the time, but I was lactose intolerant, and I think I tasted one bite of ice cream the whole time I was there. So yeah.
Well,
That's-
so when I met her, when we started like talking and like spending time, I've been in sales for 20 years, and I've been in relationships with super like business like driven to tight like professional women, and I could not figure her out. I could not figure. I'm like, I don't understand like why she is scooping ice cream, like waiting tables. Like I don't sort of get it. And but as we kept talking and I got to know her, I just realized this is a person whose priorities are completely different from the priorities that I had, that other people I had been involved with had, and frankly, like her priorities were like on things that like truly mattered, like health and wellness, and like actually like experiencing joy that isn't tied to some level of like achievement. And
Is that one of the
Yeah.
things that you would say attracted you the most? Obviously, her curls and being attractive and all that kind of stuff. But as you got to know her and saw the differences from what your past looked like, was that something that drew you to her even more?
I think that it's yes, and I think the big thing with Jessica, and most people that really get to know her will say this, is she is like just a calming influence. Like
I would say she has that on you. Yes.
Why is she amping you up right now?
No, I think when you talk about you've talked to us several times about the abundance mindset versus a scarcity mindset or scarcity mindset.
I like scarcity.
Yeah, have a little of that
Start
too in
saying
sales,
that.
and you could have that too. Like we had a conversation just the other day about that, and you were having a tough day, and in sales, especially mortgages, one small little thing can make a whole deal blow up.
Yeah.
That is just something that you just don't think, one wrong yes or no on a condo cert can throw the whole deal in the fire. So,
Yeah.
and
I
having
like
that conversation.
to liken it to like weather and planting a seed. You'll plant a seed and then you got to kind of like back away and you check on it and do your check-ins and
Yeah, when I
But,
was
yeah.
at
one storm. Sorry.
So when I was at MBKC, I can remember, I was mostly online, like upstairs in the office or downstairs in the basement, depending on where we had it at the time. I'd crank, I'd get online at like 7:30 in the morning, and I would come downstairs at like 6:30 or 7. I mean, I'd just be cranking, like trying to get it going. Having left the industry that I left. And I would come down and I would be like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I got to get something, I need to deal, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, I can remember one day she just like, she doesn't yell at me, like, do you know what I mean? But like sometimes she
For
takes
some reason,
like,
I just don't see her ever raising her voice.
No, but like
She
when
finally does, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Right, but like when she like realizes that like she's got to get across to me in a way that like, and she's not getting across and the message is important, like she has a tone that's sort of like, I mean, it just like, it like gets my attention. And I remember her being like, you do not see me out there in my garden planting seeds, and then like the next day stomping around being like, where is this? And she's like, did you do the work? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, well, then you just don't do the work twice, don't worry.
Yeah.
And so there's all this insight that she offers, because she's just so different from, I mean, I'm just high energy, just go, chasing affirmation constantly. Like I just, I mean, that is who I am. That is what I'm wired to do. And she is so different. And
So what would you say her superpower is?
Like sound effect is like
No, I didn't hear it. You know, her superpower?
Yeah.
Her superpower is that she is like incredibly present. She is the most present person that I have ever met in my life. And I tease her and I make fun. We talk about like Facebook, social media, because she doesn't know what anything's going on. She never knows what time it is. I'm like, well, when's dinner? And she's like, 20 minutes. And I'm like, okay, so I got an hour and 15 minutes. Like, time doesn't exist.
It's a construct, you know? It just doesn't. Yeah.
But the reality is that's what it is. Instead of me being like worrying about like what we're not able to do right now or what we're building, I mean, she just has this incredible faith and this incredible presence that her just being present in the moment is her super. And she's an incredible cook. Listen, she's got a bunch.
Can't narrow it down to just one.
No.
So what would Robert's be in your opinion?
He can just walk up and have a conversation with anybody. Like, he never meets a stranger. He just...
But see, I could say that about you as well.
Yeah,
I mean,
but...
like, I've been places, like, first time, you know, we've met and we chatted for a long time. I mean, like, have
Yes.
that. So I think you have that ability as well.
Yeah. I feel like I'm, like pushing myself a little bit.
You know, I heard
Like, I
somebody,
do have the ability, and
you're
know.
probably naturally an introvert.
Yeah.
But, you know, you have moments where you figure
like
out
a little
over
of
time
both,
that you're an
yeah.
extroverted introvert. I
Yes.
would say over the years, especially from teaching, I was an introvert for a long time. But
Yeah.
you have to be on stage and, you know, talk to people and talk in front of people, even if it's just kids. And then in sales, being a sales manager and that kind of stuff, leading a team,
Yeah.
you're on the spot and you have to be an extrovert. And
Yeah.
even though that's not necessarily my nature, but
Yeah.
yeah. So
I heard somebody one time in a podcast or something on YouTube say that, and she teaches people how to like speak and talk to people, and she said that you've got to go through the world thinking that everybody likes you instead
Assume
of like
positive
thinking
intent.
that everybody doesn't, and like that kind of view change it, you know.
I like
and sometimes we aren't brought up to think that, or like life hasn't like thrown us those things that's what we naturally think. But I think that definitely helps
It
when
does.
you're
Oh, absolutely. When
Yeah.
you talk to people, and I find that when I read stuff, whether it's a text or an email or you get something from somebody, just a little note that you have to assume positive intent. You have
Yes.
to. You'll drive yourself crazy if
yeah,
you don't.
if you
And
don't, yeah.
I like that about assuming
Yeah.
that somebody's just, you know, you have to assume somebody's going
Yeah.
to like you. And they don't
Yeah.
have a reason not to.
I think that
And
scares
that person across the room, wants somebody to talk to just as much.
Yes.
You know?
It's like smiling
I
first.
think everybody does.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Walking into a room. Yeah.
So the birthday party event, when we did that, it was sort of an interesting lesson for me, and I think for Jessica as well. So like I was sort of frustrated at that it didn't do everything that I, you know, like it was like 80% of what I wanted it to do, you know, in terms of like just sort of the vibe, maybe the people there, that type of stuff. I think Jessica probably felt that way because there was stuff we left at the house like that didn't make it here, or you know what I mean?
You're kidding. There was more that wasn't there.
I mean, she spent 2 nights here before, like, you know what I mean? And so we both
I should have
walked
brought
away.
like all the serving platters.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking at the
Yeah.
phases of what.
Yeah, I should have just had all that here. That would have helped.
So we walked away both sort of talking about like the next time we want to do it. And that's the other thing that is like wonderful is I mean,
Yeah.
she's like my partner. Like this is like, you know, it says like Beal Home Loans, Fountain Mortgage. I'm posting all this absurd stuff, the podcast, Bealcast, all of that type of stuff. But like none of this, and I'm not just saying this, but none of this happens without her support. I mean, you just can't.
100%.
And I mean,
And
it's
it's
just,
awesome that you recognize that.
I mean, how can I not? I mean, I have
You'd be surprised.
7 years of going through life trying to do it a certain way that I just, you know, and so none of it happens without her support, but we're kind of like recapping how the event went, and both of us were sort of like let down by it, like 20%. But the
I
thing,
don't feel like I was.
okay, well,
I know there's a few things I could have done a little bit better, but I felt like it turned out really well.
okay.
Well, or
Yeah.
better
You,
or
Emily,
different.
helped me like pull it all together.
I wish I
You
would have.
stepped
I would
in.
have gotten.
I wish
there a
I
few
had
minutes
called
earlier.
you.
Yeah.
Called you and been like, come earlier. I didn't know your abilities until then, you know?
I've hosted and put on a couple parties
Yeah, you're capable.
in my
Yeah.
time. But
Well, what I was
don't
going
have
to
those
say is that our expectations of ourselves at 100%, most people's expectation of us is like 60%.
Right.
So if we're doing 80%, we're exceeding, but we just don't always have that grace for ourselves. And that's a big thing
Yeah.
that like Jessica is always.
I feel like that's something she would have taught you.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I've been taught all sorts of lessons. It doesn't mean I retain them in the moment. Do you know what I mean? Like everybody's
Yeah.
got a plan until anxiety
Yeah.
takes over.
Well, and that's, I think, something to point out. I mean, anxiety is well, there's a song about it now, but I mean, it's huge. It's
Yeah.
such a big thing. And if you're with somebody that has a huge amount of anxiety themselves, and you put those two people together, it rarely works.
No.
Yeah.
You can mask it for a while, but somebody at some point is gonna drop that
Yeah.
ball. And if you have that balance, life's about balance, and having somebody, if you're anxious and she's not, and she can help with that, and vice versa.
No,
Yeah.
that's
That's-
100%.
Yeah, it's
Well,
so
I'm still anxious. I just know how to help with it.
yeah.
Well, she's also like, I got to figure this out because
Yeah,
because it's like right now.
that too. That too. And with what I do, I feel like it would go a long way. There's no healing your gut without addressing anxiety because
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
yeah.
Well, and different foods, and I mean,
Yeah.
all the stuff. Like I have a kiddo that we dealt with when he was little with ADHD and all that kind of stuff. And being a former teacher, I just didn't want to buy into that was medicine and stuff was my only option. There had to
Yeah.
have been something else. So we started, looking into foods. And my sister was allergic to red dye. And so, there's lots of studies about that kind of stuff. So we started looking into that and allergies with,
Yeah.
so, and then hearing the holistic, counseling and stuff that you do,
Yeah.
it's a really cool kind of thing to be able to help with certain things.
Yeah.
So being able to tie that in with diet and change is fantastic.
Well, I talk a lot about, and I post a lot about my wife's cooking, right? The food is like, I basically eat like a king, like most of the time. But if you also look at it from not just the fact that it's like delicious food, if you look at the fact that like a lot of our produce or she cooks with a lot of things that she's grown like in our garden, right? And so there's like all of that stuff takes time. None of that is immediate. All of that is, you just have to sort of like have patience and nurture it along. And so it's not just that the food is good. She's like really intentional about every single ingredient. And that's not just like when she's cooking for me. If you're in need of catering for an event, you can have that exact same.
Holistic catering.
Yeah. And
Don't call me for donuts.
yeah, don't call her for donuts.
Yeah.
Unless it's
I'm not gonna do it.
homemade Pop-Tart.
Right. I can make homemade gluten-free Pop-Tarts. Yeah.
And
Call
but
me if
I
you
bet you
need
could make
gluten.
gluten-free homemade like
options.
donut.
Yeah.
like
Oh,
the
yeah. I can make
pastries that you
I
can
make a gluten-free vegan donut. So if you are in need of catering that is in those lines, you can call me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
you want to feed your people holistically and nutritious, something that they will feel good about eating and not feel bloated and heavy when they leave. I am your girl.
Then you're it.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a little cheesy, but in the different things that you guys have been talking about, and like the good and all the great things, what's the one little thing that drives you a little crazy, but secretly you're like, oh, that is kind of cool. Like, maybe is it the technology? That's what really got me thinking about it, because you had a couple of your technology cracks in the beginning, but you still had the love in your eyes, so you knew it might, yeah.
You want to go first?
All right.
Like
You
changing
go
the wedding
first.
ring
You go
with every
first.
outfit. Like,
I don't
does
think
Yeah.
that?
Does that bother you? I don't
No,
think
that
she's-
doesn't bother me.
no, it's just this neurotic. It's just this neurotic thing that I started doing.
No.
So so Danny and I started working on this podcast, I think in like November or October, something like that. November, October. Okay. And so the thing about the podcast that I enjoy is that I have effectively gamified my business, because the activities are basically the same thing. I go out every day and I look to build relationships
Yeah.
with people. So people are like, that's
See, I think
guy's
that's your
cool.
superpower. Is the obviously what you said, but connector. You are definitely the connector between people. Like
Yeah.
you're the ultimate Lego. Like you could fit anywhere. You know?
I mean, I love it. I love the fact that I mean, you're a perfect example of this. Like you're not just like HR here. You know, you were like my gateway into this whole life that I have now that I love, right? And then I think about the ways that I got connected to you, whether it was John Blank or Lisa Brosnick. I mean, I just think that's important. I think this how we meet is like really important. And so I started doing this podcast. I'm obsessed with it, okay, all the time. I mean, I'm still focused on business because
Right.
the activities are very similar. I don't know that she's watched an episode.
I have. He has put on episodes in the living room for us to watch
together.
together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Listen, I eat every meal you put in front of me.
Yeah, because
You would starve otherwise.
right.
No, but so when you say like, what's the thing, but it's secretly kind of
It's-
cool.
it is,
It's
you
the
know.
presence. Like
Yeah.
it's just, you know, and yes, you've watched some, but it's always like, this is what we're gonna watch.
See, there you go.
But she's present, and she's also like really good about. I mean,
I just feel like I hear him talk all the time. You know, there is nothing on a podcast that I haven't heard him say in some way or another.
Some
I just-
fashion or
yeah, I mean, maybe I'm interested in what the other people are saying.
Right.
You know, so there's that.
well, that's you know.
That does interest me.
I'll tell you
sometimes.
something interesting, funny about that. So you had told me when I started doing this, like, try not to tell the same stories over and over again. Yeah. And so we did an episode with Megan and Kyle, okay? And
he was
typically,
the skater. Was he the dance? That
figure
Ice
skater, yeah,
figure
Neil
skater,
McCarthy.
okay.
And so we've been releasing because the way we've shot them, we've had to release them in parts, right? And so we put the first episode out, and it's great. I think it's one of the best that we did. Kyle is so good. Megan is hilarious. It's like, yeah, this is great. And I'm like, why aren't we releasing the second part? And Danny's like, well, you pretty much said all the same stuff that you said in the episode with like John and whatever. And so yeah, like so tonight I've struggled to not do that with the other ones that we shot. Thank you.
all right. Hey, growth. See, you're growing and changing.
What is it annoying about me that like?
no, I think she already said.
Oh, did you?
No, did I?
Well,
No, she told me.
No.
No, you got to come up with something.
Yeah, so you know, he is like all the time out there doing things, but it is hard to get him to sit still, put aside the phone, and like
And be
just
present.
Be present. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so
The worst part about that.
I mean, as much as I appreciate like how he is, you know, that is the thing we struggle with.
the worst
that
part
makes
about
sense.
her
Yeah.
criticisms is that she's always freaking right. It's so you know what I mean. I can't even
It's
if
kind of on point.
even if then there's a moment where I'm like oh whatever. Like immediately I'm like she's right. You know?
Yeah.
And so that's the thing that's most annoying about her is that she is always
She's
right.
always
I'm
right.
never right about anything.
That's so funny. Okay, so that one was good. So let's say another cheesy one. So let's say that the Beale cast takes off, right? And it's just takes the world by storm. And they want to make a sitcom about you guys. It's
gosh.
just going to be, you know, like it is puts Kansas City on, well, but, you know, besides Travis and all those guys, but you know, it really gets going. So what would it be about? Like, is there a show out there right now that you think that would be similar to you guys, and who would play you? Like, who would represent?
We wouldn't play ourselves.
Well, you could, I guess. I
Yeah.
didn't think about that.
Yeah, I mean, reality TV shows like.
Yeah, that would be a good spin.
Would
I
you-
think you
Yeah,
could do that.
I don't
Would
think
you
it would
wanna
be
do that?
different if
Have a camera with you all day,
I,
every
you
day.
know, for a time, I think that I could be okay with that, especially if I had somebody like doing the house chores.
So we'll put that in your contract that there has to be no
somebody
chef, but
doing
there
the
has to be
laundry and the
there has to be
vacuuming,
a-
and I can like make everything else look good.
There you go. I do. I like that. So instead of it being a sitcom per se, it would be a
Yeah.
reality TV show.
It would have to be a reality TV show.
Yeah,
And the thing
because
of-
I don't think anybody could really play us.
Could do
To
could
do it
Robert
right.
justice.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
so I mean, yeah, that's sort of ridiculous. The person that I find the most amusing.
Is yourself.
Yeah, and I know how that sounds. I know that sounds so obnoxious and arrogant.
He is really
He
funny.
is funny.
He is funny.
Hey, believe me, I spent
Like-
3.5 weeks sitting in a basement with
Yeah.
just Robert. So
I just-
do understand.
He makes me laugh even sometimes when I don't want to laugh. Like it's really funny though.
So there's
Sometimes when
that.
I'm like mad and he's still trying to make things funny, and I'm like, "Shut up!
This
It's
is-
not funny. This is not the time." Like
There's
So-
a time and a place, and this is not
this
it.
is not it.
And
Yeah.
I don't think I'm the funniest person. Don't get me wrong. Like I don't expect anybody else to feel the same way that I
same
do.
humor that you
But
do.
like I just crack myself up like all the time. with
I
my
think that's an
extreme-
important quality. Do you
Yeah.
ever like go through
Yeah.
something, you're doing something, and Jessica's like, "What are you laughing at?" Myself.
Yeah.
Well, there's plenty of times I'm like, hey, check this out, and she just
Well,
stares at me, and I'm
and
like,
sometimes he'll like make jokes about me, but he's not like doing it like he's kind of picking on me a little bit, but like in a
Not a malicious-
funny,
I don't
not
like
a
this
malicious, but in a funny way.
Yeah.
Or like, my wife, she brings him all this glass, and like if there's ever like what did you say the last time? If like
There's ever a glass
the
shortage,
fault
you
line
guys-
or something, like
no,
we're
when
gonna
the
be in
San
trouble.
Andreas fault goes off, it's going to be like a bloodbath in our house. I cannot. There has not been. She moved in like the second week.
I brought more glass home.
Yeah, like the last week of August 21, she moved in, and there has not been there. Maybe there's a half dozen pieces of glass that have left the house since she's been there. So
I'm just trying to get rid of the plastic. We have so much
Ditto.
plastic. They say we eat a credit card's worth of plastic in a week.
In a week.
In a week,
Yeah.
like they're actually finding like plastic molecules in like all sorts of parts of our bodies. So, yeah,
but that's an
like it's crazy.
It is. I've changed a lot of stuff in
Yeah.
my house, like my strawberries that are all cut up in my bag in the fridge or in a glass mason jar.
Yeah.
I mean, I've really tried to go through and get rid of a lot of that stuff. Organic cotton type clothes, and
Yeah.
it's although it's not the shirt.
really trying to.
Yeah.
Trying. Little by little. You can't just like throw out everything and,
No,
and
it's
start
so
over.
expensive.
It is.
It's expensive to be healthy.
Yeah,
Like
it really is.
avocado
It's really
oil
unfortunate.
chips.
And good quality clothes are expensive, and
Well, nothing. I mean, and again, I'm like an old hippie now, but like the whole system is
Well,
set up to
too.
like consume constantly.
right. We've
and-
been buying things made by people who aren't being paid what they're worth. Mm-hmm. And now
That's a century
things.
old. Yeah,
When
it's a
you're
big problem.
buying something that's 100% cotton, we're paying for what it costs to
Yeah.
make it, like what it really costs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just crazy what you go to a health food store or whatnot and trying to buy things that are healthier, and whether it's an oil that it's in or if it's a certain chemical, something that you're trying not to consume, sugar
Right.
substitute. And it always seems like there's that one brand that doesn't do all the things, that has a
Yeah.
really good just makeup, and it's $5 more than the rest of the stuff.
Yes.
So you're like, for the love of all good things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a challenge to be healthy, and of all the wonderful things that my wife does, diet is a big part of it, right? And the fact that like she grows the stuff, like she does all the work that makes
Yeah.
it like the cheat code for me to do it. And I'm fortunate
Well,
to have
those
that.
little plastic containers of herbs are so expensive that like everybody should grow herbs. So easy.
Yeah, that's gonna be on my. That's gonna be on my porch. So I have my basil or my tomato plants. I'm gonna go get my basil to
Nice.
combine them so they,
Well, if you need any mint starts, I
Yes.
gotcha.
Okay.
I've got mint coming out my ears.
All right, I would take some
At
Yeah.
a nickel
Yeah.
for every
Okay,
time I had a
next
girl
time
say
I
that.
see
to me.
you.
mint coming out my ears.
I
you
pulled
go.
so much out of the garden today.
That's awesome. I would.
It is.
Yeah. So, all right. So, just to recap here. So, if you guys are doing a reality show, and I really think that you could pitch that. I mean, so Yes.
Yeah.
The Beals. Yeah,
I can come up with a
absolutely.
logo.
Yeah. I do. I think that, I mean, with you going around Kansas City, and I told myself at your birthday party that I was going to try to branch out and was going to try to be more like Robert and do some of those things. And I have not, admittedly, done as much of that as I would like to. So if I'm in Kansas City and I am going to just go branch out on a Saturday morning, where am I going to go?
I mean, are you asking me? Or are you asking? I mean, I'm
Or
gonna.
do you guys go and do some of that stuff together? What do you?
So
I think we each have our like preferred routines for Saturday mornings.
So if Jessica's off and it's her and I mean, we're gonna get up and we're gonna go. You know, I'm gonna go work out, and then we're gonna go to the river market, right?
Yeah.
The River Market.
River
Now, do you guys
Market.
ever take that
We go to
trolley thing?
what is
No,
it?
we're up north. We have taken it
We have
places.
some. If we have like a whole day, we could do that. But I mean, to take that from the River Market goes to Grand Central Station. It's like,
Yeah.
Union
once
Station.
Union Station.
I know,
Oh
she
God, Grand.
That's okay. I'm with you.
Yeah,
I
well,
wasn't
they've
going to
extended
correct
it.
you, but Robert clearly did.
Grand Central Station.
It's like, it's okay.
We
Yeah.
have a place from Kansas City that goes to Grand Central Station.
See? It's,
Anyway, it
Okay.
goes to Union Station, and once you've seen it, if it's not Christmas, why?
yeah.
That's not on brand. Kansas City's great. We love
Yes.
Union Station.
Yes, but I mean, yeah.
And they change stuff up
Yeah.
here and there. So
Yeah.
we'll go down. I
Put
know
a
when my
farmer's
kids-
market down there,
Yes.
and I'll go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we'll go to the river market, and then we're gonna go get breakfast at Billy's Grocery, which it seems to
Yeah.
be like that's
It
like at
is.
any given time.
Yeah,
Any
Billy's
given
Grocery
day.
is.
One of us we've ran into each other having separate meetings with different people at like Billy Grocery before.
Yeah,
That's funny.
Yeah.
It
there's
is great.
rare a day that one of us
Yeah.
Isn't there?
isn't at one location or another.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to a coffee shop. If Jessica's working, I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna go work out, and I'm gonna go. Most Saturdays it's probably gonna be Core Coffee in Pendleton Heights. But I've sort of developed this like.
Now, is that
routine-
downtown?
Pendleton Heights? No, it's the Northeast.
Okay.
And so,
I
I've
don't
sort
know.
of.
Yeah, have I been there?
Yeah, you've been
Okay.
there. You did an art thing there, and so.
Oh, yeah,
we
yeah,
have,
sorry.
But I sort of worked in this rotation around the city of these different like coffee shops I've gone. Now the last week or so, I've been like, you know what, I need to get into some like different sections. But I'm sort of like this creature of habit, and I get into
Me
you
too.
know that's what I want to do is I want to spend a couple hours hanging out in a coffee shop. But you know, Jessica might have a different day.
Do you work? Are you scrolling? Are you visiting with people? Like, I just feel like I would get there. I don't drink coffee, so I just like tea and stuff like that. So I feel like I would get there and I'd sit down and I would just be doing the doom scrolling by myself, but I'm doing it at a coffee shop
I do
with
Yeah.
expensive
all of it.
tea.
I do
Yeah.
all of it. I mean, it's interesting, and so you know, I mentioned Core, and that's an example. I go in there, and I'll spend 2 hours talking to the owners there. You know, I'll go to Sundays has become like my thing, like Blip. I go to Blip, and there's all this motorcycle meetup thing. I have no interest in being on a motorcycle. I'm scared of anything I'm on the outside of going down the highway.
Yeah.
But I just watch these people sit there and talk. They come to there and gather, and I just start talking to people. And you know, I mean, it's not to be like, oh, do you need to get approved for a loan or something? But
But
just
again,
start
that's your
talking to people.
superpower. So
Yeah, and so for so long, I spent decades in a business where I was in a dealership all the time. I had no idea what Kansas City was about, and now that I can just go anywhere, I do. Like she was out of town for a couple days. She was at the Bakers Creek
Seed Festival.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Spring
Yeah.
Seed Festival.
yeah.
Doesn't
Yeah.
that sound brutal?
Yeah. No, it's amazing.
What did you come back with? Like
Oh my
knowledge,
gosh.
seeds, like
Yes,
what was it?
I came back with a lot of knowledge. So I go and I like to see the speakers, and
Oh.
it is. I don't think I missed one. There's like 15 minutes in between each one. One of them there's 30, but yeah. So I'll go shop in between or
Right.
before.
No Wi-Fi.
But yeah, there's no Wi-Fi.
brutal.
There's no Wi-Fi whatsoever. He had to leave and go to a coffee shop to
I
get
drove
Wi-Fi.
40 minutes to go to a coffee
But-
shop last year when I
Yeah.
took her. Yeah.
That's funny.
I came back with a lot of plants and a lot of seeds and a cutting board and
Nice.
Yeah, some new jewelry.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
See, and I was in Omaha this last weekend, and we went to a thing called Junk Stock. And it started in these people's backyard and just grew and grew, and they had a band
That's cool. Yeah.
and like booze of people that made the different things and stuff like that. So it's all over, and of course there's alcohol. So there was a, nice big drink that I'm walking around with my friend because she wanted to go to every single booth. I'm like, I could have probably been in and out in 2 hours, but I think we were there from like 2 to 7. So.
I was there for 2 days. Solid.
Yeah. So, but I like honey and like different local type of honey and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
so this one had some stations where you could like test it out. And so I wanted a spicy honey. And so it was the first one I tasted. So I tasted it. I was like, oh, it's not
That's
too bad.
cool.
Like it's really good. It's got a little bit of a bite to it, but not awful. And then I tried the vanilla bean one that has a vanilla bean in it, and it was great. But I didn't let the hot one sit long enough because it's an habanero honey, and wow, it is really spicy. So I was like, what am I going to do with this? This might be something I can ask Jessica about. She might be able to point me in the right direction because it is
Maybe
shockingly
make
spicy.
a barbecue sauce with it.
Oh, that's a good idea.
She'll be able to tell you what to do with honey.
Yeah.
Or a salad dressing that you want to be spicy.
That's a good idea.
A little mustard, a little vinegar.
Throw in some stuff with it.
Yeah.
Because it
some
is.
herbs.
I put it on some granola and was having, and it was
Interesting.
Do I still need to be here for this part?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah. So are you doing that Johnson County? Where are you doing your studies for the holistic?
So I'm going to Functional Nutrition Alliance. And I say going, but I'm studying online.
You're doing it online. How much longer do you have before you're finished?
I have 2 modules left, so I'm hoping about 2 months. Yeah.
The reality is this is stuff she's just been doing. Like she's
Right.
been doing this for people.
Yeah.
People have used her for
Having
a
that
resource.
certification and being able to put that
Yeah.
behind your knowledge and
Yeah.
being able to people like that.
Yeah.
So that's really good.
Yeah, so she's
I
just
like
about wrapped up.
What?
She's just about wrapped up with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were.
Yes.
I was like, okay. So, anyways, yeah. So, what else?
What else?
Do you?
What other questions do
I
you
was
have
gonna
on
say-
that sheet of yours?
Oh, I have others, but
Any one more you want to get to?
Jessica's wrapping you up, by the way.
I
No,
know,
I'm
right?
not trying to wrap you
No,
up.
but Danny
I'm just
says
so
it's
curious.
an hour, so he's got the
He-
signal
yeah,
up there.
so,
All right.
but yeah, sometimes you don't always get an hour of footage. So
And we're also like, it's Jessica's hour.
yeah,
So it doesn't have to be an
Yes.
Earth hour.
or an hour
Right.
of content, not footage. Yeah,
there you go. Realistically, by the time we went through stories and a lot of that kind of stuff, most of the things that I wanted to kind of like get in and ask about, we have talked about. But what would you? And I guess this kind of goes along with the superpower kind of thing. But what would you say in terms of like your relationship? And you guys had past relationships that didn't go well, and I think that's kind of being so upfront about it, and you guys talked about that, and that was part of, just hey, I don't know what I'm looking for, but I know it's not this, and but what would you say makes this relationship so special? Like, what's your key difference?
Oh, you want me to go first?
I would like you to, but
So, I think that Robert is just so supportive, of all the things that I want to do. Like, I could say something off the wall and he would be like, yeah, go do it, So I think that, anything that I come to him and I'm like, so I really want to do this. Well, what do you think about it? And like, he might not have much to say, like an opinion about it, but if it's something that I want to do,
Helps give you the confidence to
Yeah.
take it on.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Well, I think that I mean that answer is going to how I would answer that question would change almost daily in this relationship.
Yeah.
Because when she talks about how supportive I am of her, I mean, how would I not be? You know what I mean? Like we get together and I have this career in a business, where I'm at the top of it effectively or almost there, and I am failed marriage. Had a challenging issue with my boys, and I see this opportunity to make a change in the mortgages, but it's going to be like a 90% pay cut. It's like a huge dramatic thing, and
I remember it.
and there was never anything but like we're gonna figure it out, and so I think that and when I talk about like my failed marriages, like I'm part of the reason why these marriages failed.
You have to.
Do you know what I mean? Like we like to, everybody we create these villains or whatever, but if you after a certain period of time you start to realize and kind of own the fact that like you're part of it. And so I think that for both of us we just understand that we could be wrong about something. Do you know what I mean? Like we could be wrong. We don't and we don't when we talk to each other and when we disagree with each other, it's never like it's like a fatal thing. Like we've got some sort of like we understand that both of us like are invested in each other and that sure, I can be rude at times and maybe hurt her feelings in a way that I didn't intend to. She could, sort of, it goes back and forth, but we just fundamentally know that we like are invested in each other. And I have more fun with her than I've had with anybody. Yeah. And we go on these road trips. I was talking to somebody about it this weekend. We go on a road trip, and I love to drive. And so, if it's a 6-hour road trip, she's asleep for 4 hours of it.
I need my beauty sleep.
But
something about being in a car and you
I
just,
know.
Yeah, no, I'm listening to music, I'm doing whatever. But like the conversation never gets old. And I think both of us up front, the thing was we were completely honest. There was no reason to sort of like try to make myself look better than you know what I mean? None of that like dating stuff, none of that insecurity. Like I went into it like it's going to fall apart. Like this ain't going to work. They never work, I have no expectations.
Like what kind of voodoo are you doing here?
Well, that was true. I was like, what is like everything? Like when's the other shoe going to like drop? And it's just we're just not kids, and so we've like learned from the mistakes that we've made, and I don't know. I couldn't do what I do without her, and so I don't know. I think that I don't think that you can necessarily that there's ever like a single person for somebody. I don't think there's like like a perfect person. I think
you're
that
not a soulmate
believer.
believer.
No, and because I've sort of had that mindset before, and that turned out it wasn't a soulmate. And so, but what I think happens is throughout the course of your life, you do have these kind of off ramps where there's opportunities, and I think that both of us just I don't know.
You're kind of on that path that just crossed, and it feels like it's like divine intervention.
My friend said something today. She said it's not magic, it's work. And
it is,
but it doesn't feel like that much work.
It doesn't, but it is a lot of communication. It's being open to someone else's ideas and opinions. And
she's so hot,
and
in a way. And I say that, and I know, and some people might be like, hey, like you're like, that's obnoxious. That's I don't. It's like she is more beautiful to me today than she. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
I don't know. I told this story on a podcast. I think Charity and Dino were on it, but I don't know if you remember the Christmas party. Okay, so my wife is beautiful, right? And
I have a good Christmas party story. So
yeah, and so I remember and we have a number of beautiful women that work for our company, you included, Emily.
Yes.
And so, but everybody was just like, oh my goodness, like sincerely, she looks so good, and I'm like she does.
He just loves it.
It's it's that beauty that's not skin deep. It's just, you know what I mean? It's just so.
And that's good. And what my Christmas party story is of Robert. So I was like bartending because I go to most Christmas parties solo. So I'm working or doing things for the party, and I was bartending, and Robert comes up and is like, "I need a cup of water," and I was like, "Okay, I got this." It's just not chilled, and I was like, "Is this for you or for Jessica?" It's for Jessica, and I was like, "Okay." And then I'm getting all the stuff, no ice. And I was like, okay. So I was going to chill the cup because the water was not cold. And so I put the ice in, and this dude about came across the table at me. It was like, "I said no ice." And I was like, "I got it. I was just going to chill the cup." And he's like, "I've got one job, and it was to get a cup of water." And I was like,
It's not chill.
we'll get it. I promise. And so...
Well, we're going to go to dinner tonight after this.
It was so
and
sweet the other day. I got to the restaurant and he had my drink. I order all the time soda water with a lime, no ice.
Oh,
Yeah.
Do you know how hard it is to get that no ice?
Yeah.
But I mean,
Around
I
here,
get it.
yeah.
I get it. People just get
75%
ice.
of the
I
time
understand,
they
but-
bring it with ice.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, typically.
well.
It's kind of
Or
like
I've even
iced tea
had
with
it
lemon.
brought with a lemon. Like, I'm okay with that, but you
Prefer
know.
a lime.
Yeah, I
yeah.
prefer a lime.
Yeah, don't screw up my wife's water. If you want to see the dark side,
Maybe it was soda
Don't
water.
screw up
Maybe
her
that's what it was. But I
well,
was
it's soda
just like,
water if she's
he
like
was-
having fun. If it's
Yeah.
But I did. I think that was the only time I ever saw like true irritation in Robert. I was just like,
Listen, my wife
Give
gets
me-
the water the way she wants it.
give me just a second. I'll try to make sure. But he did leave the ice part out in my defense
Yeah.
at first. But
You should have
but
known.
yeah. So, anyways, well, I would say.
Now you know.
Yeah, now I definitely I'll know for the next Christmas party. So
I really hope this generates some leads. I'll be honest with you.
I really do. I admire both of you immensely. I mean, of course, I've talked to Robert more, but just listening to you and just seeing the sheer joy you have when you talk about your wife. Like and you can at this point call her Jessica. Do you ever go by Jess or is it Jessica?
People call me Jess.
Yeah. So
I
it is
don't.
kind of funny that
Yeah, he
he
never
will
does.
say my wife. I'm like, Jessica?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm really proud of her. But I got to say something else, though. Like, I mean, you've made a huge difference in my life. Okay, you can't just like. I'm not going to just
He
let you
talks
sit
about
there.
you
I'm not going to
so
let you sit there and compliment me without like giving it back. I mean, you're the reason.
Right.
You're the reason why I got hired, got into this business. You're the reason why I am.
Your interview skills were why you got into this.
Boy, it
business.
sure didn't feel like that with Steph. I'll be completely honest with you.
Well, he
But
just has
She's a tough
people
cookie to-
skills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you're the reason why I'm here, and so much of like the joy that Jessica and I are able to experience is because like in a lot of ways I'm in sync. I'm in the places that I'm supposed to be, and you're a big part of that.
Well, thank
And
you.
so,
I
okay.
appreciate that.
All right, I think
Well,
this is a
thanks.
good spot for us.
This
to,
would be a good spot. All right. Well, thanks for joining the Bealcast with
Yeah.
Robert and Jessica at Fountain Mortgage here, and have a great night.
Yeah, you
Thank
too.
you.
Have fun at dinner.
Thank you.